Hello, I hope you watched the video on how to join panels, and I hope that helped you out. One thing that I think would really probably help you out a lot too, don't try to drill the panels when they're on the wall, at least not the first set of holes that's going to hold it in place. My wall's got a little bit of a shimmy wiggle to it. I might put some screws in between, but pre-drill the panels beforehand. Now, if you got a whole pallet of them like I did, you can't really pre-drill them because they're too heavy to try and line them all up before you drill. So what my recommendation is, and which is working well for me, and I just share it with you, is like the wall behind me is going to take 5 panels. Well, 5 is manageable. So what I've done is I laid those 5 panels up against the wall, and I put 2x4 supports behind them. I think you can see that. Yeah, there's 2x4 supports behind them, so that although they're leaning a little bit, they've got something, a firm backstop. I lined all the panels up nicely to each other. I carefully measured and I drilled through all 5 panels at once to mass produce pre-drilled panels. Those holes are 1/4 inch, which is what FarmTek recommends to allow some expansion on the screws underneath the washers. It allows it to expand and contract. No screw is less than 1 inch from the border. I think I'm 2 inches from the verticals, 2 inches from the top, 3 inches from the bottom. That's because of my wall construction. The rows running horizontally are 30 inches apart. That's my wall construction. I'm sheathed with 15/32 inch plywood. That hole drill pattern is up to you. That worked well for me using complete 4x8 sheets. Remember, I'm using a top cap. I have a raised sill plate so that my panels and my wood do not touch the floor. My construction's different. But pre-drilling the panels per wall helps. The last panel, the very back one, is actually my template panel. That's the one I use, and I set it aside. I get some more wood panels, and I put that one on top to use it as the template for drilling all the other ones, so I don't have to measure again and again and again. And you're careful with it. The other thing that I'm finding useful is, rather than using a twist bit for drilling, I'm using a 1/4 inch speed bore. You don't see them very often, but I'm kind of liking it. It's not so aggressive, so that if I have to add holes, like I'm probably going to do here, a new row, when that bit finishes clearing the plastic and the tip touches the wood surface, I can feel it. It's a very distinct thud, and it leaves me a little pilot hole for the screw to take, but it stops. Unlike a twist bit, which will probably keep drilling a 1/4 inch hole all the way through, and then I won't have anything firm for my fastener to stick into. So find yourself a 1/4 inch speed bore, because it seems to be the right tool for the job. Hey, yay, I got lucky. Doing all this with cordless tools, it doesn't take a lot of torque. For what it's worth, I'm using an electric screwdriver. It happens to be a Bosch. I have the setting on 7, which is probably inch-pounds. Not foot-pounds, but inch-pounds. But that seems to be just enough torque to set the screw, and then it stops twisting so it's not stripping into the wood. You know, do what you want to do. I'm using all stainless steel fasteners everywhere, the FarmTek product. Okay, there's the tip. Pre-drill your panels. Do the whole wall at once. Get it right the first time or you'll cry. But it really does make things easier, because drilling while it's up on the wall is not my idea of a good time. Do follow the instructions. Do use a 1/4 inch hole to allow for expansion and contraction with temperature. All right, that's all. Bye-bye.